Welcome, everybody. This is a very, very special episode. This is going to be recording, broadcasting Leo TV history. Now, I don't know if it'll be on the positive side or on the negative side. This may be the best broadcast you ever heard, or this may be the biggest waste of time in your life. But you will have to stick around for the next couple hours to find out. And we have an exciting show coming up. We have a wonderful outline, a wonderful agenda that we will make up as we go along. We have spent exactly 15 seconds planning it. So we put in a lot of time so we could bring you broadcasting excellence. In other words, go to the Threadcast and ask some fucking questions, or we're just going to be going in circles for hours.
I mean, isn't that what we usually do? Just go in circles?
Yes, but they don't know we're going in circles. They think it's our strategy where we bring things back and there's a grand plan to how we do these shows. And obviously there's not. But by the way, I do have something to bring up to start this show with. And John, have I made my like for Web3 and my dislike for Web2? Have I kept that hidden, or has it been out there?
This is the rant you promised us that you would, right?
Yeah.
Is this the rant? We're starting the show off with a rant?
We're starting with a rant. I'm a little befuddled at Eric. And Nifty will appreciate this because he's a true threader and kind of a psychopath like me. So he walks that fine line. But I'm on Threads today, right? And I'm doing my threading and the notifications. I love the notification. I'm going through notifications. And I get a couple of like notifications from different people, and I'm answering them. They're saying, yeah, we were talking in the Spanish community and we want to be on your team. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And they said, oh, well, there's a contest going on and there's teams and it's a thread contest. It's part of the ongoing campaign. And we want to be on your team in this. And I'm sitting there saying to myself, Eric does this campaign. He signs me up for it. He sticks it in Discord when he knows damn well I won't find it. I won't see it. I won't go there. And now I'm on Threads talking to people about something I have absolutely no clue about, and worse, I'm involved in, and I don't even know it. Now, is this a conspiracy, Nifty, or what? I think this is a conspiracy.
I don't know if that's anything out of the ordinary. You know, you're on Threads talking about shit you have no idea about all day, every day. I don't know if that's anything out of the ordinary.
True, but at least I know I'm a part of something when I'm talking shit. I didn't even know I was a part of this thing.
Before we get Eric's rebuttal, we have to do a little technical magic for you task. Okay, you're gonna have to go to your favorite Web2 platform right now, which is Discord. Okay,
what did I do?
Are you there? Are you in Leo Chat TV?
Yes.
Okay, now you're just gonna right click on Nifty's name, mute him. You're gonna right click on Eric's, mute him, and then you're gonna right click on my name and mute me.
I did. All three of you are muted.
Okay. So Anakin Skywalker said that you had echoes. So it should be okay now if you muted. So
they were muted before. I did that before the show.
Did you? Well, dude, never mind. Sorry, Eric. I didn't mean to. Your rebuttal, sir, for past throwing you under the bus.
Yeah. There's no need for a rebuttal. I just want to get that off my chest because it's like I guess I got to go to Discord. I don't know what the hell else Eric will be signing me up for. Maybe he'll sign me up for the Marines or, some type of gay pageant or something like that. I don't know. I'll show up somewhere and they'll say, okay, get in your thong. And it's like, oh, well, I go commando. But, anyway, that's another story for another day.
Yeah, but okay. So this is not a rebuttal, but it's like a right back at you. So since I knew that you were gonna give me this kind of shit, I actually left you out of this initiative. Like your name is not like, if you see the post, if you read the post about this last minute campaign, or this last minute battle, there are 3 teams, and the top 120 people on Zilly are part of one of the teams. The only persons who are not part of any team is Carl, because he won't do anything on Threads and he won't help any team. So he's left out, right? I am left out because I am not gonna have time, because I'm gonna be reviewing all the shit that happens, and you are not on any team, because I actually thought he's gonna give me shit, so I'm gonna kick him out.
Okay.
No, but seriously,
Love
you're not part of any team, because you would destroy everyone around you, and it would be unfair for everyone else if you were on any team. So if you hear anyone trying to recruit you to their team, tell them to go with Shed.
Well, and that's good, because we're on a new day, and I've set up a campaign for myself for the 1,000 thread campaign tomorrow. So, I don't know when you're starting your campaign, but that was kind of overlapping. And it's like, at least I'll be throwing up a lot of threads for people to engage with.
Yeah,
That's what matters.
Have you actually read about what this 36 hours battle is about?
No clue. I didn't have a clue you were doing anything. I mean, I kind of had an idea that you were planning something, but I had no idea you did anything until people were saying, we want you on our team. And I'm like, what the hell are you people? Or we want to be on your team even. Or maybe they've said on my team. I don't know. But I was like, I don't even know what you people are talking about. Leave me alone. Let me thread.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. Let me thread, he says.
He's a t-shirt.
Words. That's a t-shirt right there.
Yeah. Task Lion, Eliana said. That's his own team. Task Lion. I like it.
Well,
with all that being said.
Okay, so I got kicked out of something that I wasn't
lying.
even in.
I am going to put in pants because I need to turn on the light. So
this is my rebuttal, because Eric doesn't have pants on and neither do I. It's fine. I got a bottle for the show, so I'm going to have a little bit of tequila to get things going here.
Dude, you know what, Nifty?
Just a little taste, you know.
You know what? I feel like I just got kicked out of a bar before I even walked into it now.
He's got his pants on. Thankfully. For people that might be new to what's going on, and you're probably listening to the recording going, what the hell is happening here? This is we did this before a couple of weeks ago, but this is new for us. This is, I guess, the first official, quote unquote, meeting of the minds, the cryptoholics and the cryptomaniacs. Do we have a name yet for this? Do we have this?
Nifty just said the shit show, so that
it's the crypto shit show. Welcome to the crypto shit show.
I like it. So welcome everyone. Thanks for listening.
You can check in, but you may never leave. Yes. The crypto shit show.
But by the way, I do have to do a public service announcement for Cal. He wants it out there. For those of you who remember, and this is the internet, so remembering 7 hours ago, let alone 7 months ago, is difficult. But Simply Analytics is back up and running. It's a nice tool that will show the analytics for leofinance.io website, and it shows page views and time on sites and number of visitors. And of course, we don't have the information on the ad revenue yet, but this is all stuff that ties into ad revenue and stuff. So keep an eye on that. And we want to put up some big numbers in addition to the numbers Eric keeps putting out with threads and the different campaigns that he keeps putting together.
Golf clap for Eric, man. You've been crushing it, dude. Very, very nice. Very well done, man. The Zeely thing has just been absolutely mind-blowingly fun. So thank you. And I'm sure you haven't got any sleep.
I am never doing this again.
Wildly successful, but never again.
Yeah. I was just like, when the first campaign started, and for those who don't know, who doesn't know, the 3 outside of Hive people who are listening to us right now, For those who don't know what Zilly is or what Leo Finance is a platform with a microblogging and blogging section, and Zilly is a platform where you can gamify any interactions within any website or crypto project. So we have a Zilly campaign for Leo Finance, and we had the first one on February 14 to February 28. We had around 80 people who joined, and I barely got to sleep. Well, no, it was like 200, but only 80 were active. And I was telling Carl that I wasn't, I couldn't wait for this new campaign to start because I knew it was going to be amazing. And I was so excited to see Leo Finance get adopted and all this shit. And then the campaign started. And the first hour, I just saw how 250 quests dropped in like 2 hours. And then you have to review all of them manually. And anytime I approve something, I wait 1 hour and it's already 50 more to approve. So I actually asked around for help to the ambassadors. They didn't help. Like like maybe just 3 or 4 days they did, and I blame you, Nifty, for this. But
Blame me. Yes.
it's great. It just takes too much time. And hopefully for the next one, and I know the CTP is planning something ahead. We have to plan this better in terms of man hours and hands behind the keyboard. Definitely.
Yeah.
I will
Maybe
say
we should outsource it.
I will say, Eric, I did pick up a little bit on your new campaign, and I noticed you have a variety of different metrics as opposed to just number of threads. And I think that was a very insightful move and a way to round it out to say, instead of just putting up one word replies, you basically say, okay, we're going to incentivize you to do more.
Yeah.
It deters the spam, so to speak. Instead of just throwing up 15 threads with emojis in them in a row to get 15 points. Now you're going to have to actually take that.
Exactly. And one of the I think I talked with Nifty about this. If you make threads under 15 characters, I think your thread doesn't even count for the score. So good thread, boss. Like that's not good enough.
Well, if maybe we could tangent to a bigger question, I'd like to get your thoughts, the three of you, on this. The idea of spamming threads. When people say, well, the last time there was just so much spam. And, on the AMA, they said, well, 30% of what's on threads doesn't need to be there. And now we get back into the age-old quality discussion, which we know where that comes from. And I guess there's some people who feel threads should be of a certain quality. Now, I understand for a campaign and a contest, okay, you have certain parameters in place. But to me, and maybe I'm the asshole here. Well, I am the asshole, but maybe I'm an asshole on this viewpoint too. I think numbers are more important. I think engagement is more important. I think people putting on there, the internet is full of dopey stuff. I mean, we know that's what the internet majors in. And so when people say, well, people are just spamming threads, it's like, what do you expect? This isn't like brain surgery or going to be Pulitzer Prize winning, 240 character posts. This is going to be people saying dumb shit about what they think about.
Cats.
Or cats or dog pics or feet pics or whatever, is on there. And yes, I understand that, people just taking their own posts and just posting the links to them all throughout the day gets annoying. That's where, better filtration and blocking systems come in. But I just, to me, it's like these people who tend to complain about it. Ironically, then when the numbers go down and okay, the spam leaves, guess what? They're nowhere to be found either. So, it's the typical bitch about it, but it's like, Well, you people aren't doing 100 threads a day either. I don't know. What's your guys' thoughts on spam on threads and quality threads? And we have to have a thread quality police to monitor everything.
You want to go ahead,
I'll
Nifty?
go first. Yeah, I'll go first. Just because I've had some strong opinions on this. Maybe spam is the wrong word. Maybe it's overload. I think, numbers are great, yes, and you wanna pump the number of threads, but to have a single emoji thread 20 times in a row on the feed, to me, is just it's not appealing at all. At least share a photo, at least something other than a single word, or just don't fill up the feed. Let other people have a chance to get in there and say something. You're not talking to yourself. You're talking to the other, 2,000 users or whatever. So yeah, maybe spam is the wrong word. But I think it'll get better when there's, say 10,000 users, and that won't matter so much. But with the small amount of users we do have, you land on the Leo Finance page and then you see one user saying like 15, 20 different things in a row. It's kind of just like, okay, this isn't your page, bro.
Yeah, but if there was a way to block them, then that would
Sure.
also handle it, because, hey, ABC 123 account is a dingbat, so I'll just block that dingbat.
Yeah, and I mean, there's the easy solution. We just need better filtering. Like, we need to be able to mute users from our feed, and all problems go away. Yeah, it's nothing against that person. Doesn't mean they're a shitty person. It's just I don't want to read your shit.
Yeah.
Mute.
What's your take, Jungo?
Yeah, right. Same as Nifty. I think the mute button is like this perfect solution. It's always like, hey, I got a great idea. Hey, Dev, go do it. It's like, obviously it's not as easy to just go do it. So yeah, mute button I think will solve a lot of it. But I think, Nifty, what you said was bang on. When you have 10,000 people on a platform using it every day, it almost self-polices itself. When it's a smaller ecosystem, it's kind of tough because you kind of don't want it to go this way. So you're trying to like corral people. But generally, I mean, you think about Hive as a whole, not even Leo, just Hive as a whole. Generally, it kind of takes care of itself. Yes, there's beefs and there's downvote wars and all sorts of, but it's still a minute thing. It's not this. Now, if Hive had 20,000, 50,000 active users, it kind of just grows into its own thing. So I think the same with Leo. I think Threads is fantastic. It grows. I think that'll almost self-police itself. But,
yeah,
that's wishful thinking. Mute button, please. Yeah.
Hey, Devs, go do it.
Well, I'm actually happy that you spoke first, because you gave me some inspiration. So the way I see it, Task, and you were mentioning that why should there be some sort of threats police or have some guidelines and blah blah blah. So I don't think there should be a police. I don't think we need a police. We don't actually need the downvote button on Leo. Anyone who posts non-finance content on Leo just doesn't get votes, and they don't get support. They get ignored, and life goes on. And I've seen some people posting crap, and some people from the community actually go there and tell them, yo, this has nothing to do with finance. You can either twist the focus of the post and you can make it finance related, or you can just go somewhere else. And they actually leave or change their ways.
If I could say, you're talking long form, right now?
Yes.
Long form, okay. Just to be clear.
Yeah, long form. And on Threads, I actually have nothing against emojis or 3-word threads or just replies like GM, like Nifty likes to GM.
Yeah,
I have nothing against that. What I do think is that people can say whatever they want, or they can do whatever they want on Threads. But if there's an incentive related to threading, they shouldn't also be they should also be eligible to participate on that. So, for example, curation is going to rely a lot on engagement on threads. But I don't think that someone who engages like Eliana, for example, should get the same chances at getting curated as someone who engages with an emoji or with 3 words per thread. And if both people make the same amount of threads, they can both do it however they want, but Eliana should get more visibility in terms of curation. Or if there's a monetary prize at the end of the month, because there will be. I'm trying to, is the word strong arm? I'm trying to strong arm Carl into setting a fund for the leaderboard every month. But that being said, I don't think emoji repliers should get a shot at that. So the police is not for the threats. The police, and I don't even like calling the police, but the police should be for the scoreboards, the leaderboards, the monetization on top of the votes. You know, I don't know if I'm being clear.
No, I think you're clear, and I would agree with you. If you're running contests, if you're doing something for a return, and there's parameters, just like you did with this a new Zealy campaign. You put in different parameters to stimulate more activity instead of just the emoji or the one word 4 character threat. But and you're right. I've never thought about that. But even on the long form post, do we need a downvote button? We don't utilize it a lot, which I guess is probably a good thing. But I could see if there are certain abusers that it could come in handy. But the downvote button on threads, I mean, I don't know if we need it there. My view is on a lot of this stuff, if somebody posts a thread and you don't like it, skip it. Move on. There's
Keep scrolling.
thousands of others. And if you don't like it, don't upvote it. I mean, it's like, it doesn't matter. And now I spend most of my time in the notification. So it's like a lot of that stuff. I mean, now that's becoming my feed as opposed to the main section, because that's where, I mean, Nifty and I were going back and forth earlier today. And, we probably sent 20 messages to each other, just, saying stuff back and forth. None of it made any sense and amounted to anything, but we sent like 20 messages.
Number go up.
Yeah, that was number go up. We put a lot of words together too, Eric. So you'll be happy. There were a lot of.
They were wordy. They were wordy.
You know what? I have no idea if you have an agenda or a schedule for this show, but I don't. And Nifty, I'm sure as hell he doesn't. So you just gave me an idea for a small topic. So it's two parts, and I would like to hear what you have to say. So the first one is threads. Apparently, you use threads in the notification section. I use threads in the feed section, but the one of my following list. I rarely scroll through the all feed. So this is one of the topics. And the other one that I want to approach is the way that we are measuring threads right now with the scoreboard is a solution to something that happened 2 weeks ago with the first boss battle. So threads and Leo Finance is decentralized in a way that anyone can do whatever they want, but it's semi-centralized in the way that there's a team that can react to what happens very quickly. So if something happens on Hive, it takes 6 months for the community to actually reach a solution. If something happens in Leo Finance, in 2 weeks we can come up with a solution for something. If it doesn't work, we search for another solution, and if it doesn't work, we search for another one. But there's this constant kind of quick change or quick solving. But it also trumps with the maybe people don't like the way the team is doing things, but the thing is they can give feedback, and we actually listen to feedback. But what's your take in those two? How threads are so I don't know the word, so versatile, and also how centralization can help Leo finance, or how can it deter it?
I mean, I always love going back to, I mentioned this on Tuesday for our show. They call me Dan, said this months ago, and it really hit me to this day. It's something I always believe in. Everything starts centralized. Everything does, even Bitcoin. At the start of it, there was one guy or whatever Nakamoto is, but that had Bitcoin. So it was centralized. It's what you do after. So the fact that Leo has centralized parts will help it grow, I think, quicker. But you can see what Cal's planning and what you're planning, Eric, with the distribution of it. That's what matters. So right now, I think it allows you to be agile. So you can, like, instead of waiting 6 months to do a fix, you can bang something out in 2 weeks. You can't do that necessarily with ease in a decentralized way. It takes time for decentralization, but a centralized place, you can, at the start, you can see what needs to get fixed, and it gets fixed, and you're good to go. So that would be my thought. I don't mind it, because I see the big picture. Well, I'm thinking I'm seeing the big picture of what they're trying to do with the Leo token. They don't want 2 or 3 people having all the Leo. They want 2,000 or 3,000 people having all the Leo. So, yeah.
Spread the Leo of both threads. PSA. Don't look through these. Look at the big picture. Yeah? Pretty much?
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. Perfect.
I really like that. Everything starts centralized. It's what you do after. Wow.
Sorry, my browser crashed, so I got kicked out. I'm getting kicked out of everything.
Well, he's using Microsoft Edge, I think, so,
Am I echoing again or no?
No, you're good.
To answer you, Eric, in terms of flexibility, I love the flexibility of threads. I don't even think we've scratched the surface in terms of the creativity we can apply to this platform. And, we came up with Threadcast, we came up with Thread Storms, we've come up with containers. The development team is adding more stuff to it. So I think we really have many different directions we can go in terms of the flexibility with threads. And it's all inclusive. It's general use. You can talk about anything. You can post photos about anything. I mean, it doesn't have to be typical Leo finance stuff, which is great. In terms of the centralization, this is not a blockchain. It is a layer 2 application. The token distribution is getting stronger. The token distribution entitles people to certain things. I think the expansion of governance looks to be in play. So there's things being done to hopefully, incentivize people to hold more Leo power and get more governance and get the large stakeholders giving them some say. But at the end of the day, we're dealing with a platform where some decisions have to be made. And it's not, necessarily a community making all those decisions. It's 1 or 2 or 3 people who are dedicated. Let's be honest. The idea that somebody who shows up and does 10 threads with just an emoji in each one should have a say in what's taking place. And, we don't need to do that. I mean, that's kind of absurd. So you have to have some skin in the game. You have to have some stake, and you also have some dedication, even if I don't even know, Eric, what you have in terms of Leo power. I never looked at your account, but I don't question the dedication and the time and the effort you're putting into Leo. So I don't have to look at your Leo power to know that you're dedicated. And when you look, and if you're asked something and you're part of a team of 2 or 3 or 4 making a decision, you're going to try to operate in Leo Finance's best interest. I mean, you've proven that with your time and what you're doing and your position. And that has nothing to do with your stake. So, you need people like that, because those are the ones who care.
Big facts.
Yeah. And this is okay. This is giving me some ideas, but I won't steal the whole conversation. But I just came up with something. So Starkers and They Call Me Down. We're talking about reputation systems a couple of Saturdays ago, or maybe it was this Saturday. But I wasn't aware that reputation on it's probably the most important uh, cog on any blockchain that relies on public governance. And yes, Hive has a reputation system that is way better than most blockchains out there. And I was just reading some tweets about Jeff Jago about Solana and how a lot of scams in Solana wouldn't happen on Hive because anyone who was involved on the Solana scams were able to shady their way out of that scam and made some others, and nobody knew they were involved in the previous scam. But on Hive, that wouldn't happen, especially because if you want to be someone and you want to scam someone, you need a reputation to actually pull that off. But that being said, the reputation on Hive is flawed. So, Taskmaster, you mentioned that you need, like, it doesn't matter how much Leo power I have, it matters how much I put into the ecosystem. So, how do you translate that into a good reputation system on Leo that takes Leo power, of course, but that also takes a lot of things that matter, so that whales who don't put anything into the platform don't have such a strong say against people like, for example, JFang, who has 10,000 Leo power, but puts so much time into making threads go viral. I think that these two people should have a similar say, not the way that is designed right now. So
I have the ideal solution for that, I believe, and it's based upon Cal's NFT idea. And what if you had threads? And you know, you can also incorporate long form content into this, but I'll just focus on threads. What if you had certain levels of lifetime thread counts and you get an NFT, and that NFT has some type of quantitative value towards governance or towards whatever you're talking about? Then also, so you don't have people who have huge lifetime thread totals, but they were active 5 years ago and haven't been around 5 years. You also have NFTs that are distributed for, let's say, the last quarter, the last 6 months, the last year, whatever the case may be. And maybe those you give more weight to than the lifetime threads. So you take a Jay Fang, who may not have a tremendous amount of Leo power, but he's done, since day one of threads, he's done a ton of threads. But also in the last 90 days or 6 months or 1 year, whatever your time frame is, he's done a ton there. So he's top level in the last 6 months of threads. He's in the top level of lifetimes of threads. He doesn't have a ton of Leo power, but he's there. And through those, you somehow devise some type of system that says, okay, this guy has the equivalent of, let's say, in activity, another 50,000 or 100,000 in Leo power for governance. It's quasi Leo power or whatever. And you do that through the NFTs, and that you could do simply into people's wallets off of Deluxe or VSC when that comes out, or whatever's being built. And that way, if you got it in a wallet, then you know your governance system just reads that the same way as it reads Leo power.
yeah, and at the same time, when you start quantifying all of those actions, so you could have an NFT for threads, you can have an NFT for posts, you can have an NFT for comments on posts, but you could also have an NFT for votes. So if you spread your votes enough, you get an NFT faster than someone who always votes for the same 10 people. So then you put governance incentives into engaging on the platform. And yes, of course, if someone has 300,000 Leo power, like nobody will be able to reach that amount of influence in the platform just by engaging. But maybe 3 or 4 people can trump that together. So it's not a rich man's game.
Yep. And if I could go one step further, why don't you take that same quantified system and take it to the ad revenue? So ad revenue is not only based upon Leo Power Holding. Yes, a portion of it is. It may be 75% of it is based on Leo Power Holding, but 25% goes to the activity people, and you spread it out then. So then, like, to use Jay Fang as an example again, now not only is he having more say in governance based upon his activity, like you said, these 4, 5, 6 different metrics, he also actually is being rewarded above and beyond upvotes and curation. He's also being rewarded out of the ad revenue because, let's be honest, if he's adding all those threads, if he's commenting, if he's uploading, he's adding to the system and he's helping to generate the ad revenue, as opposed to, let's say, somebody like me who has a bunch of Leo power and I just decide to disappear and I don't do anything on the system for like 3 years and I'm still getting all this Leo power.
So now you have the engaged to mint NFTs, but you have the engaged to earn Leo tokens. So if you
engage to govern.
Yes, I love it.
Engage to govern.
Ooh.
You stay active. You comment on long form. You make threads all day. You power up Leo. You're engaging to govern the platform.
Mm-hmm. And you're helping to create revenue for the platform through our ad revenue campaign.
Well, this is something I did for years and years and years on my platform, and you see Zeely really tapped into this. You can gamify everything. Like, just like you said, like you could gamify literally the amount of votes you're giving out, not to the same 10 people that you always do. You can gamify. You could literally put an incentive on that. You log in 2 days a week. You incentivize them log in 3 or 4 days a week. It's things like you can have so much fun with this, and it'll engage. You saw Eric. You saw everyone that took part in the Zeely thing. You literally just all you have to do is say, "Here, look," and people will go there. They will do it. They will be active because people are drawn to that stuff. And Leo is setting up for some big wins with that, and just kind of going back to what you guys were saying. I wanted to mention this, and I wrote it down. I want to do a post on this later this week. Culture. Leo is building a culture.
Exactly.
And you can't buy that. You know what I mean? Like, you have to, that has to be created by people. And that's what's being formed here. So absolutely, man. Like the governance, proof of governance or engaged governance. It's awesome. Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like proof of brain, but on another level.
Exactly. And
you heard it first on the Crypto Shit Show.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I had to.
Dude. So one of the things that I noticed with Zeely, and that this is where Hive kicks every other blockchain's ass. A lot of campaigns on Zeely were all about, and this is how a lot of, for those who are listening, this is how a lot of new blockchains decide who they are airdropping their new tokens. For people who, so you have these tiers where if you send one transaction every day for 30 days, you become tier 1. But if you transact more than $50, you become tier 2, blah blah blah. And the more that but this engagement with the blockchain is just it's abstract engagement in the sense that all that you can do is interact with smart contracts, stake in pools, use a protocol. But in Hive, in Leo Finance, we can, on CTP, we can actually gamify this to the next level because there's the social side or the social part of all of these interactions. Right. And then when you compare our Zeely campaign with other Zeely campaigns, dude, I think I have never seen one tweet about Hive go viral. And in the past month, I have seen more than 15 tweets get more than 20K views just because of the Zeely campaign. People are saying, dude, can you help me retweet this, share this, send this to your mom? And then they are actually trying to make, like, if there's no incentive, they don't try to go viral. But if there's an incentive, they do anything they need to do to go viral. So imagine if Like, imagine what would happen if we had 1,000 people doing this for a month.
Well, another thing that I think is so important is, and this goes back to what John was saying about gamifying. The difference is we can incentivize the gamification with real value, and it doesn't have to be direct payouts. I mean, like we do in LPUD, we do it with Leo power delegations and high power delegations, and that incentivizes people, and that has a value to them over the next 3.5 weeks or 4 weeks that they have it. So there's a lot of different ways, and like Nifty was saying, you know, what do you say, thread to governance or whatever. You know, you start being active to be a part of this community, and that gives you a say in what's going on. It gives you a monetary reward, or it gives you a piece of the monetization of the platform. And for you being active, you get that. And here's another thing that it also does, Eric, that is I think, a problem. We know there's a lot of people who are on Hive or from sections of the world where the ability to keep powering up everything that comes in is just not possible. They need this. This is a resource for them to live. And it's all well and good to sit here in a first world nation like the United States or Canada and say, oh, well, these people, they're just selling their stuff and dumping the token as soon as they get it. And it's like, get your head out of your ass. They need it to live on. Well, now you are including people in the system, in the community, above and beyond, who don't have the ability to buy Leo and stake it. They don't necessarily have the ability to earn Leo and stake it. Maybe they need that Leo, especially as the price goes up, because that's the difference between them eating for the next 3 days and not. But now they're involved. And now you're appealing to people where we say, listen, the difference between us and Ethereum is you have to buy to get involved. The difference between us and these other blockchains is you have to bring money. Here, you just show up and get active, and you can build.
Yep. I just want to point out real quick. Sorry to interrupt. I'm not over here on my phone fucking off. I'm reading the Threadcast because it won't load on my computer. And Forex Broker said something that really hit me as you were talking about, you know, the NFTs and you know, giving access to those that maybe can't afford to power up and that kind of thing. He said your Hive account itself is an NFT, for sure. I agree. And what really got me,
the money shot,
said that
got
is,
me too.
Yeah. What really got me when he said that is, okay, your Hive account is the NFT. Leo Finance NFTs are the equipable weapons, armor, you know, spell book, whatever you want to call it, for your NFT of your Hive account, your main character, your avatar, so to speak.
Yeah, man.
You know, you equip your NFT that you earned from doing 10,000 threads, you know, as your main weapon, and then you can, you know, post a thread that shows up in green, or, you know, whatever, you know, shit like that is the kind of shit that's going to take it to another level. And that really hit me. So I'm glad he said that.
The sad thing is that probably made sense to 98% of you listening. I don't understand what the hell Nifty was even talking about.
I've been playing too much Diablo.
He's sitting there talking game, and I'm like, oh shit. I'm still trying to get done with my last quest in Splinterlands. They're now 6-month quests.
He just loaded up Frogger 2.0, you know, Yar's Revenge.
Space Invaders, man. I grew up with the Space Invaders, the Atari 2600. You know, I'm not too far advanced from Pong. So, you know, give me a break. You got to understand where I fit into the gaming world. And I remember arcades before in-home gaming systems. I know you guys don't, but I do.
Maybe John. Dude, I'm not that young, man. Like, I'm like,
you're like almost, you're what, 9 years younger than me?
I might be the youngster here, but I love arcade games.
Dude,
like, man.
The The worst part is that I do remember them, but not because I'm old, but because Mexico is like 20 years behind. So
Eric just got his first flip phone. He's so happy.
Yeah, he got the Razor. The Razor just came out in Mexico.
yeah, pretty much. Like I think there are still arcades around, like literal arcades with games from 2001 or things like that. But yeah,
Nice.
Can you imagine if you had like an arcade game of a true arcade game, Nifty, of like Pac-Man, like one of the originals? That's
Oh,
got to be
man.
worth a boatload of money.
yeah.
I would. Oh man, I would love that. Man Cave would be going crazy. One day. I would have more than just a fucking pool table sheet and some fucking random cryptoholics merch and shit. Like I would
Dude,
have the
I
shit
love
just
it.
fucking
You're
laying around.
shameless self-promotion. You're not above it. It's perfect, man. That's the way you
Well,
gotta
dude,
be.
this is the crypto shit show.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
No, but I do think
Look.
the general point that Nifty brought up, that Forex broker pointed out, I guess that is a great way to think about it, is all of this is feeding into the main value. And maybe that goes back to, Eric, what you're talking about with reputation. Value is always different from price. And this feeds into the value of your Hive account, which is your reputation. And it's more than just a high power, what's in your wallet. It's, okay, Nifty may not have a lot of high power. Nifty may not have a lot of Leo power. Nifty may not have a lot of this, but Nifty is a valued member of Leo Finance, and Nifty is a valued member of Threads, and Nifty's activities elevates him to a level above and beyond people who just came here with a boatload of money, bought some tokens, and don't do anything.
So what you're saying is Nifty has nothing, but we'll be happy. Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, Nifty.
Wait until we have subscriptions on Leo Finance. Oh, I'm gonna be sitting well. I'm just loading up the vault of premium content that I want to spread to my fans.
Dude, the elephant in the room, man. We gotta talk about it. I know there's a lot to talk about, but the price of Leo, man, like everything's just going, to hell in a
There goes
handbasket.
Sean Go. He can't go very far without talking about the markets, price.
I know the
candles.
markets, right? Like green and red, baby.
He was
favorite
looking
colors.
at his Bollinger Bands on Leo before the show.
Yes, RSI lines or something, whatever they call it. Right?
He must not be wearing pants either. He's over there in his other tab looking at Trading View.
I know. I got like 15 monitors, man. Like everywhere. Yeah. No,
He's got Leo on one, B Leo on the other, P Leo on one, and W Leo.
Oh
on
yeah,
the other.
because
he's
all those require
arbitraging them.
MetaMask.
He's
I've got them
he's
all loaded up.
arbitraging. He even built a bot to arbitrage it himself.
Yeah. I just just so we know, remember.
John, did you have something important to say before?
No,
we
I can't
started
even
teasing
remember what
you?
I was going to say. No, I was going to say everyone needs to start selling Leo because my goodness, I'm trying to buy every day and the price just keeps going up and up and up and it's annoying. So I know everyone else loves it. People love it. 7-cent Leo. Let's go. I want to buy cheaper, please.
I am going to be completely honest. I don't like that the Leo token is going up so fast. And maybe people will disagree with me, but these kind of pumps need to stabilize at every level. And my preoccupation is that if it goes to 10 cents, for example, it's in 3 days, let's just say, it's going to be the same people twice as rich they were 2 weeks ago or a week ago. And the problem is there wasn't any exchange of hands of Leo tokens. And one of the, and Taskmaster won't let me lie on this, the reason you need this this price growth to be in sections and not just big pumps is that the moment that the price starts going up, some people sell, some people buy, and there's more spread. But if there's a big pump, that's just a dump waiting to happen. And
I agree.
I would
agree.
agree in general terms, Eric, but I think with Leo, there's two things that stand out to me about Leo where I might take exception with what you said. First off, is we know there's a lot of large holders who aren't going to be dumping. I mean, I'm not going to dump my 450,000 if the price of Leo gets to 10 cents or 20 cents or 30 cents. One Alpha's not going to be dumping. Cal's not going to be dumping. So I don't think and you know, even Django's not going to be dumping. I think your people who are tried and true aren't going to be dumping into the market, even if it goes up pretty significantly. That's number one. Number two, I think what people are seeing and why there's this reaction, that's the question. Why is there this reaction? And I think it's because people are starting to realize, and this is probably the first time we really see it on Hive. There is value being built here. There is a plan. There is a roadmap towards building value. And I think the price has just been dumped and dumped and dumped because we've been saying it, but people haven't believed it. And now all of a sudden, Leo Threads, the beta comes out. Yes, full of bugs. Cal comes out and says, in May, we're going to be debugging. Okay, fine. After that, we'll be adding features. Features are being added. The notification page, the articles page got major updates this week. The ad revenue, people are starting to see that there's something to this. This is getting closer. This is being discussed. So I understand what you're saying. And if we go from like 5 cents to 35 cents, okay, maybe that's just too much for the system to take. But, you know, I don't see much ad going in the way of sales volume. The sell wall doesn't seem to be changing. And the other thing is we don't have a huge volume. I mean, you're talking traded like you know, a few $1,000s a day. It's not like we suddenly spiked up to $25,000 in volume. So, you know, this is more like a penny stock where why is it moving? And I don't think this is a pump. I don't look at it as a pump because I don't think there's a couple manipulators just trying to drive the price up. I think it's finally a lot of people and a lot of smaller hands saying, I'd like to get some more Leo. I mean, Django's been adding left and right, and he's been open about it. And he's not buying that to flip at 15 cents or 20 cents or 30 cents.
And I'm not buying tons either, right? I mean, like it's, I what I noticed today, and this, I'm sure this has to relate with the price of it all and everything, is that the Leo bounties for delegating to Leo voter, it was a whole lot more a couple of weeks ago compared to now.
When there was a fund for it.
Right. Well, no, it's because it's priced on it's based on the USD price. So you're getting 16% in USD, but of course, if the price doubles of Hive, you get half.
You get less.
I mean, the price of Leo doubles in USD, you get half the Leo.
So that's where I'm like with Eric. It's like, okay, guys, like just chill out for
calm
a bit.
down.
Well, you're just he's coming from an altruistic overall health of the ecosystem. You're just looking at your damn wallet. That's the difference.
But
you're saying you're with Eric. He's looking out for the health of the system. You're just saying, I want more Leo.
Right, but this comes back to what we're talking about with culture. Culture's being built here, so Taskmaster is not dumping Leo at 15 cents.
No.
One Alpha is not dumping Leo at 15 cents.
No.
No, Eric's not dumping Leo at 15 cents. Well, Eric, Nifty, I know it. Me and Nifty are totally.
I might.
Yeah, you might see some profit taken. I mean, I'm going to keep some Hive, or excuse me, some Leo liquid just in case there is a major pump, and I will sell some liquid Leo into it just to take some profits if it does run. Just to get some cash set aside. But no, my main holding isn't going anywhere for, long time.
I had something I wanted to say in regard to. I don't mean to cut you off, Eric.
No, it's okay.
But if I don't say it now, I've had another shot and it's going to leave if I don't say it now. So, Task, you said, there's real value being built for the Leo token. And also, none of this is financial advice. It happens in Minecraft. But there's real value being built for the Leo token, for Leo Finance. There's real revenue coming in. And if you look at a lot of like crypto projects and a lot of like layer 2 tokens, where the fuck is the revenue? Where is whatever it might be supporting their token price? It's just not there.
To go one step further, where's the business applications, the business sense, the business models? That's one thing that when, I talked to Eric about when he came in. I said, listen, you're bringing some of this stuff to the table. He's actually putting together charts and tracking growth of users. I mean, this is business 101. And where do you see it in crypto? You don't. So I agree. It's building a business here. And we all own a piece of it.
That's more what I was getting at. There's a real plan. There's a real revenue generator. And as far as dumping Leo, I may not be the biggest holder here, but I'm getting there. I've been moving up pretty rapidly compared to what I wanted to do by the end of the year. I've already surpassed it, and that's for a lot of reasons. But those people that want to dump, guess what? They can't. They're powered up. They're powered up. They're staked. What is it? 30 days?
30 days.
Something like that?
28 days.
I think it's 1/4.
So if you're wanting to dump right now and you've been, earning your Leo and you've been powering up and you've been participating and increasing your influence, you can't dump. Good luck. Unless you've got some, liquid funds sitting in another wallet or something like that. But short of arbing, I'm not dumping. I do arb though. Between the different Leo tokens on different chains, man, there's a lot of opportunity there. Each one has its own market.
That requires MetaMask though. Ugh.
No. MetaMask is the way of the past. I used XDeFi. It's much better.
Oh
if I can jump in here and say something about what Nifty just said. I honestly I don't know what Eric's holding. I have no idea how many Leo Nifty has. People I engage, I don't know what Tokenized Society has. I don't know what Forex Broker has. I don't know what people have I talk to every day in Leo Pal. I didn't know what Django had till he started for a month going on how he wanted to be a sperm lion and he wanted to get enough, so he became the sperm lion level. I don't even know the names of the levels of this. How little I care. I don't even know
of the pack, sir.
Okay,
Sperm
lion.
That is so monarchic from you. So you are the second biggest stakeholder, and you say I don't care about the levels. Yeah, of course, because you're at the top.
Yeah, I know. You peons.
Yeah, exactly.
You're beneath me.
But I've never given a crap about the levels on Hive either. It's just, to me, it's, I don't care what anybody else is holding. I don't upvote them on Leo Finance based on what they're holding. I don't even know what they're holding. And John's laughed at me for 2 years because I have no idea who even votes for me. I don't even look at who votes
amazing.
for me. I have no idea. So
it's funny.
I just, it's just, it doesn't really matter to me. But like when you're talking about reputation, I don't care what's in Nifty's wallet. I understand the interaction I've had with him. I see him on chain. I see his commitment. I see your commitment, Eric. I don't have to look in your wallets. And, if somebody uses the category levels to get to as inspiration because they want to get to another level, that's great. If there's certain advantages and things being set up for being at different levels, which is a great idea, and quantifying activity like we were just talking, that's wonderful. But to sit there and say, to me, it's like, okay, oh well, we cannot, you can't upvote that person. He's not a leader of the pack. Well, what do I care what they are? It's a good thread. It's a good post. I don't care what they are. And that's just the approach I've always taken. And that comes to the reputation. I don't judge people on what's in their wallet because I don't even look. I don't even care. I just judge them based upon the interaction and the engagement we have. And they could be selling all their Leo. They could be selling all their Hive. I have no idea. I don't go sifting through their wallets.
I don't either. I look at it as, I know you. When I see a post from Django, when I see a post from Eric, when I see a post from Task, I know you. I know what you know, how you write. You know, I have a general. I know that I can trust that it is you, and there's no bullshit. I don't care. Like, you have a reputation that you've built, and that has more value to me than any amount of tokens.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, Task. I really admire how you look at Hive, and that was a very beautiful thing to say. To avoid saying that that you don't know how to check wallets.
No, I know how to check them. I just don't spend time looking at them. I mean, it's
Man,
like,
just giving you shit, man.
you know,
As long as it's not on Discord, he can do it.
yeah. you could post your social security number on Discord. I won't even be able to find it. I wouldn't even know it's there. It's like I think I even threaded you, Eric. I asked if news to Threads was back. I didn't even know it because that was the only thing pulling me to Discord was using the news to Threads. You know, at least as a group.
Yeah. I don't know,
Why don't you, for those who don't know, why don't you talk about news to Threads, what that is, what levels are required? I don't think it's there. I think you're having to rebuild it. But what is there? What is the project there for, and what are your plans with it?
So it is there, but it's not open because we're still working on adding more websites and adding a couple more accounts. But basically, it's a way for people to share news pieces without going through all the hassle of briefing them or just spamming the links. So people can actually go to Discord, and I think it's going to be for people who have more than 15,000 Leo power, which is the lion level. And this is just to avoid spam in the sense of we believe that if you have 15,000 Leo power, it's in your interest not to share crap and not to spam the bot. So the way that it works is that you go online, you go on your normal life, you find a news piece that you like, and instead of doing the whole thing by yourself and sharing that news piece, you go to Discord, you drop the link there, and the bot will run that article through ChatGPT, brief that, make 3 or 4 threads, depending on what you tell the bot to do, and then specialized account, depending on the topic that you are sharing, will post that. So that means that someone who used to wake up and read the newspaper can just go on Threads and read their personalized feed with all of these accounts, and they can just browse through the crypto, sports, movies, whatever they are interested in. And they will see all the top 15 news of the day, handpicked and curated by the Leo community. So you're not going to read shit, or you're not going to read paid articles, or you're not going to read something that you're not interested in because someone with 15,000 Leo power or more thought this news piece is worthy and it should be on your feed. So it's some sort of curated feeds for curated and personalized feeds. We still have to polish that, but we believe that it can really change the way, like, people who browse Twitter for news and they encounter 99% of bullshit and crap. They can go to Threads and find only pieces that are worth their time reading, and they don't have to open the post. They can just read the 3 threads about that topic.
Tapping into AI, not to completely change the subject, but something happened this week that I really wanted to talk about regard to technology. Anybody here watch WWDC, Apple's developer conference?
I read some, but I didn't watch the whole conference. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the vision thing.
The vision thing, and I think it was maybe it was Tokenized Society. I don't know. Somebody said it in the Threadcast, but Apple's new Vision headset. Yeah. I wanted to talk about this. If you haven't seen it, it's a sort of AR VR headset that allows you to do things like project your display from your Mac computer into a virtual space in front of you that you can interact with, and you can connect a keyboard, and you can do FaceTime calls and shit. Anybody have a take on this? Because I've got some things to say about it. I'm curious if you guys have an opinion about this.
Yeah.
Go ahead. No, Eric, please go, because
I have been speaking a lot today, so you go ahead.
Like, I got my Apple products. I'm on an iMac. You mentioned the developers conferences. I remember, 10 years ago or so, like that was like a national holiday for me and the guys that I worked with. We would literally just watch the live stream because you didn't know what they were going to do. Like iPhone changed everything, and then the iPad came out, and it was just like, oh, what are they going to do next? And then for like a decade, it was like, oh, we got a faster processor, the most impressive processor ever. And that was it for 10 years. So this apparently is bringing back that kind of feeling of a game changer, even though the product has already been out, right? Like Meta or Facebook or whatever, they got theirs out, and it's been out. But anytime Apple does things like this, I'll be brutally honest, I haven't even looked at it. I'm sure Task will say that this is what's coming, this is going to be the future, and we're going to be in this stuff, and it very well could be. I'm all for it, like you got to embrace tech. But personally, I just have not got as excited about Apple as I used to. Like, I'm still fanboy. All of the products. I have iPhones. I've had iPhones. My wife's got iPhones. I have iPads. My kids got iPads. We don't have the Android one. We have an iPad. I'm like loyal to a brand that doesn't give a rat's behind about me. It's very strange. But I don't know. I don't know enough about if I'm going to be drawn to it. I say that now, and when it comes out, it's going to be first in line to get one. So, yeah.
I know the iPhone hasn't even come out in Mexico yet, but this thing just got announced. Sorry. Task, I'm really, really curious to hear your take on it.
Wait, because Task, I think Task is going to kill my argument. So, first of all, it's worth 7 months of my rent. So first of all, it's too much. It's gonna be buggy as fuck, because that's what happened with the iPhone. That's what happened with the iWatch. That's what happens with new tech. That's what's happening with Threads. So it's gonna be buggy. So that's the second one. And the third one, it's going to break everything, because I think this is fan service, because a lot of Marvel movies use this tech as something from Iron Man. And this is like the most, like this was sold as the most technologically advanced from a genius kind of thing, where he was just like moving things with how the vision thing works. I think it's going to sell a lot. I think it's going to be bought by bozos, but it's going to be a huge success.
$3,500 US.
Yep.
Wow.
And
$3,500 US.
And keep in mind, I don't know. I'm kind of torn here. The iWatch did not take off. That was not a huge success. I mean, let's be honest. Apple's last major huge success in terms of products was probably the iPad. Now this new headset, this is entering a totally different realm. But it kind of strikes me as the HoloLens that Microsoft brought out. And that was revolutionary. That was AR. That really didn't have the VR component. I don't think it was AR. That was also $3,000, $4,000. Microsoft kind of angled that towards the enterprise world and for engineers and designers and collaborative work between people at different companies in different geographic regions. So, I mean, long before there were Tesla fanboys, there were Apple fanboys, as Django was mentioning. So you can't deny the loyalty that Apple users have. $3,500 is a lot of money for a novelty, as Eric was saying. It's going to have issues, and there's not going to be a lot of software out there, you wouldn't think, to start. Could they roll a lot of stuff out quickly? Yeah. But let's be honest. The iPhone is not what made the smartphone world. It was Android. I mean, Android took over 90% market share, and Apple may lead the way but it's going to be somebody else who's going to go with mass market with AR and VR, because at a certain point in time, even in the developed world, how many people can throw $3,500 on a device like this, let alone the developing world? I wouldn't be throwing 3,500 on this, and I like technology. So, you start getting a VR headset down to $300, $350, then maybe it's okay, unless I got to give everything to Zuckerberg, and then I don't want it. So that's why I never bought,
the Quest.
What is it? Oculus or whatever.
Oculus.
I never bought that because, Zuckerberg controls it. So, I think it's one of those, Tokenize brought up an interesting point. He said, will this kick off the metaverse talk again? The hype that we had a couple years ago. Maybe. I think it will certainly kick off the mixed reality hype again, and we'll see if it's actually a breakthrough this time instead of a lot of hype, which, we've gone through 2 hype cycles since Zuckerberg bought Oculus. There was a hype cycle right after he bought it, and then there was one a few years ago, and, it just wasn't ready for prime time.
But this is the thing, man, and this is, first of all, Best Start and Vim said, wait for the Samsung version. It'll be $99. So that's perfect.
It'll be $99.
But see, this is the fundamental difference, I think, between, and Eric will appreciate this with his marketing background. The fundamental difference between Apple and Android products is Apple packages things and makes it look sexy. They're the best company in the world for that. Something from MetaMask. Look, I'm even thinking something from Meta and Facebook.
He's over there looking at his wallet.
I know. I'm looking at my wallet. With my 20,000. But like something from Zuckerberg is not cool, man. It's not. It's like, and you can't put a Facebook logo on something and people are like, "Oh, that's so cool." But you put a little Apple logo, people all of a sudden pay attention to that.
If I could say something, John, this ties back to what we were talking about before. Reputation. Apple's reputation is 10,000 times better, and Tim Cook's reputation is 10,000 times better than Zuckerberg. Apple has been very strong with data protection. Apple has been very strong about stepping up and trying to fight. When the government, at least in the public eye, they fought the government when they wanted backdoors and all this other stuff. Facebook has had all kinds of hacks, very public hacks. And, let's be honest, Tim Cook seems like he knows what he's doing. He's not a technology guy. He's more of a logistics guy, but he knows what he's doing. Zuckerberg, it's like you listen to him. It's like, did he just steal my wallet? I mean, he's like scummy. And
it's like Gensler.
Him and Gary.
Fucking smooth-brained fucking worm. Sorry.
So I think you have a point, John, but I think it's for a reason that Apple is the reputation of Apple, the respect for Apple, and the trust.
But don't downplay packaging and the look and feel of something. Like
they're consistent.
An Apple product, it looks really good. It feels really good. They spend a boatload on development just to make it look like they have a science to it.
Well, it's everything they do is premium, so that's part of the premium experience.
There's a reason it's called the Vision Pro.
Right.
It's for their pro users, right? So I didn't mean to cut you off there, but I just want to throw this in here. Here's my take on it. So headsets, VR headsets are cool. You know, there's never really been one that's good. You know, we have the Oculus Quest, and you can play games on it and whatnot. All good. There's not really ever been a headset from any company that's been good.
Mhm.
They've been okay and they work. Apple does this thing where they spend 10 extra years developing it, especially in Mexico, and then they release it. They spend 10 extra years taking their data from, like, say their AirPods, their Apple Watch. You know, they're the best in every category almost. You know, the smartwatch, highest selling smartwatch that exists, the Apple Watch. You know, the iPad, highest selling tablet that exists, it's the iPad.
Mhm.
You know, highest selling phone that exists, it's the iPhone. Am I an Apple fanboy? Absolutely not. I use Google products. I have a Pixel. But they do have that advantage to where they don't have to get as fragmented with the shit they do. They take it, they package it beautifully, like John was saying, and they ship it out at whatever price they decide, because who are they competing with?
Yeah.
No
And they
one.
have built,
There's-
they have
forever
built-in
they never did.
buyers.
They never did
Yeah.
sales. Like I remember,
There's
like
no-
a Black
yeah.
Friday, like 3 years ago, they said $10 off, and people lost their mind because they never do sales. Like it's
Who are
It's
they
crazy.
competing with? With the
Hmm.
Apple Vision Pro, who is the competitor? What are you going to buy aside from the Apple Vision Pro that can do what it can do? You're not. There's not a device that exists that does that. Microsoft has the HoloLens and Google did the Google Glass, but name one person that has those.
right. No one.
No one has those. Maybe a
That's
business
what's
has
so
them.
unique. That's what's going to be cool to see
Yeah.
how this takes off once it comes to market. Like that's
It's
what's
a whole new
exciting.
category of product. And it is, obviously, if they sell one fucking unit, they're the best selling unit, product in that category. You know, if Joe Schmo goes and buys it, they've already beat the market. You know, they've proven their point. But I think my bigger point here is, yes, it is the best version of a VR AR headset that we have that exists at the current moment. But I watched their like demo video of it, and I couldn't get it out of my head. The image of the guy at his kid's birthday party with this fucking thing on his face, looking at the kids. They're blowing out the candles and shit, and he's just like looking at them through this fucking dystopian like visor thing, and he's like, "I'm just taking a picture. Just continue what you're doing." And the kids are like, "Dad, stop." Like, I can't get that out of my head. It's so just disconnected from reality. Like,
okay.
are you gonna wear this at a wedding and video the wedding and
That-
just so you can get it in 3D?
That brings up a bigger point, Nifty. And what is the future of these devices? And this I'll throw out there for anybody to answer. You look at this, and to me, it looked like ski goggles.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Ready Player One, man. Yeah.
Exactly.
yeah,
I was just going to say that.
So, what is the future of AR, VR? Is it like sunglass type things where they got to be this size? Is it even contact lenses? Because some people are messing with contact lenses. Is it a dystopian looking device that covers half your face? That brings up the bigger question, not so much from necessarily a technological point of view, but from a user acceptance point of view, is who's going to want to walk around with it, something that covers half their face. And like you said, it just looks like something out of Mad Max. Or is it ultimately going to be just a pair of sunglasses that are mixed
Sure.
reality?
Sir, do you remember COVID-19? Everyone wore
Yes.
masks. So
I was
don't
just going to say. So
Foreshadowing.
I think we learned our lesson on that one. But anyway,
here's the thing, and we cannot let any Cryptoholics show go without any conspiracy theories.
I love
Since
it.
This is the crossover shit show. We
Yes,
have
sir.
to include this.
Perfect.
So here's a hot take. And I'm going to put my tinfoil hat, but this Apple product
Gotta get
has
mine
been
out. Hold on.
has been ready since 2018, and Apple is so glowy. I like it. it's at glowy levels of Facebook and Google. So they are 100% CIA controlled. And they were going to launch in 2018, but the systems and the powers that be told them, wait, because we have something planned. And we're going to push working from home, not going out, doing everything in the metaverse, blah, blah, blah. Push this right after we lift the COVID shenanigans. And then people will be ready and will receive it better. And then people will actually accept a commercial where you put a person with that on a wedding or with that watching their kids, because it's just what you said, Django, and you beat me to it. It's the pre-stage of Ready Player One, where you go to work because you just, or maybe you just start with your static bike, and then you put this, and then you go have fun while you are generating energy for the metaverse. You know, and then your body won't go won't go. I don't know the word. Sorry, I'm Mexican, but where your body just goes raw because you stay
You're
lying
a
down.
husk. Yeah.
So if you stay lying down all day with your VR here going to Six Flags or Disneyland, your body is gonna rot. But if you start generating energy for the system while you go to Disneyland, then that's the future.
I have never heard the theory the metaverse is going to be powered by hamster wheels or stationary bikes.
Rick and Morty. If anybody watches Rick and Morty, holy fuck, this is the miniverse theory.
Yeah.
My car battery is a small universe of people that are doing shit to power my fucking cell phone. Holy shit. We've come full circle.
Dude, that's what the Matrix was. Like, remember? Like, that was the entire premise of that was turned us into batteries. You know? Like,
yeah, exactly. So that's where we're going. We are just gonna power the system, and the more that you go in the wheel, the more tickets you will get to go to the park and get food and all that stuff. And in reality, your real life is gonna be crap. But since you're gonna be living in full virtual reality, you're not gonna care. You're gonna have nothing, but you will not care. You know,
you will own nothing and you will be happy, right?
I think that's a perfect time to say the magic word, which we just decided on. It is crypto shit show, and shit show is one word. So crypto shit show is the magic word for Zeely. You heard it here, and yeah, we're having a lot of fun. So yeah, if you are not having fun, you can dismiss yourself now that you have your keyword.
So
but we're going to stick around.
Does that go to the Cryptoholic show or the Cryptomaniac show? Like, which one does that go on? Like,
both above my pay grade, man. I don't know.
I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about, so don't ask me. It's like every time we have a show, Django throws a word out, I'm like, oh, whatever. And the last one, he didn't get one from Eric, so I think he did the same thing as Nifty did. He just made one up and said, don't worry, I'll tell Eric later.
Yeah. Okay, so it's on both shows because this is a crossover better than the Avengers. So
double the experience for one show. Can you get better than that?
Wow.
Can you get better than that?
And if you're not having fun, you just haven't drank enough.
Yeah, and to that, I'll have a shot. But yeah, I had to get you guys' take on the whole Apple Vision thing. I think we're headed towards a very dystopian reality where people do wear these things to concerts and sporting events. You guys know what I'm talking about. Those guys with the iPads recording the sporting event that they're at. They're recording with their cell phone. Well, they don't have to anymore. They got this fucking thing they can put on their head, and the batteries in their back pocket or shoved up their ass or wherever it's at. But they can record the entire event in 3D.
Dude, but here's a counter argument. Why would they go if they can attend virtually and be there? Like they can have a body and they can interact with another person and feel that interaction. Like if people can do that from their couch, they are going to do that. And even if it's like, I don't know, half the price, because the artist doesn't even have to pay for a venue and real security and all that stuff, because there's no venue. There are no physical needs for an event. You know,
I'm just gonna have a shot to that. I don't have anything else to say there.
Tokenize wanted to let you know, Nifty, that 69 in the Threadcast. It's 73 now.
69 comments.
Wait,
I mean,
just
well,
to close with
for
this.
anything better.
That brings up a point that I'd like to dive into. It's kind of along the same things Eric was saying, but I think this is a lot closer. And we've seen Tucker Carlson get, I don't even know if he was technically shit-canned or just pulled off the air on Fox. He does a show, a 10-minute, whatever his little thing is, his little monologue. He did 10 minutes, got 80 million views. His show on Fox got like 3 million, which was evidently one of the best in cable news. We have a situation with Shannon Sharp. You sports fans know who he is.
Yes,
he just got bought out of his contract on Undisputed. Now, nobody knows where he'll go, but some people are saying, this guy has 1 million YouTube followers. He has this many followers on this social media. Maybe he'll do something on his own. We've seen a number of people, a lot of them in the cable news industry, who've gotten shit canned from these networks, and they have their own broadcasting channels now. With technology, and basically if you have a laptop and a microphone, you could be a broadcaster, and you throw a little money at it, you could become a production company and a broadcasting company. And when you look at Pixar, when you look at some of these movie studios doing especially these animated films, and then you look at what's happening with not only ChatGPT, but also you look at the text to video, text to graphic, and some of these technologies that many people are saying are moving ahead at like light speed. Does that potentially not only take broadcasting, which, by the way, we know the cord cutting started like 12, 15 years ago, so they're losing their viewers, but also Hollywood? Are we looking at a decentralization of media at a degree we've never seen before? Yeah, you had bloggers before, but nobody gave a shit about them. Then you had vloggers, but nobody gave a shit about them. But now you actually have mainstream people saying, you know what, I don't need to go work for a major media company. I'll just start my own production company. I'll tweet stuff out. I'll get, all these views, and I'll make all this money. I mean, Tucker Carlson could think of what he could charge an ad on Twitter. He could put it at like the 3-minute mark of his 10-minute monologue. I mean, he probably could charge $500,000 for just that episode for 80 million views. So are we seeing that? And do you guys see over the next, I don't know, let's say 3 to 5 years, this being a bigger push? Because I know what Nifty's getting at, but I think that's still further down the road. But I think this is something where we're watching this transition in real time, and maybe, hopefully, Web3 will be a part of that too.
I have just one thing to say. The Streamer Awards 4 months ago got more views than the Academy Awards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just wanted to say literally just one thing, just like that. We've talked about this numerous times. I think we talked on our last crossover task about how we spend more time watching YouTube than we do traditional cable. Mm-hmm. You're seeing higher and higher production value shows come out on these streaming platforms from individuals, that don't have a major corporation behind them paying them millions of dollars or whatever to build their show. They're building it on their own. And yeah, I think we are seeing a decentralization of media, and it's I think we're going to go more and more in that direction, to the point where maybe mainstream media kind of starts to be the old way, and decentralized media becomes the regular, because let's face it, attention spans are just getting shorter and shorter, and you know, we have to move with the times.
Blaze, shut up.
Blaze
Well,
is
well,
making his show appearance, of course. Mad Dog,
as
hey
a
buddy,
follow-up
love you.
then to any of you guys, what does that do to the power structure? Because I think it's safe to say that the centralized media certainly,
There he is.
if you don't believe it was an arm of the government, it certainly
Get
was
out of my green screen.
influenced by the government. And if Nifty, what you're saying is true, doesn't that zap a lot of the power away? And as we've seen, I mean, you get these decentralized podcasters, they're coming from every angle.
Yep, I think so.
Well, it's
Cable production is dying. And when I say cable, I mean like live TV, like the shit you pay $100 a month for or whatever, like to get your cable package. That shit has been dying for a long time, and it's going like down at an exponential rate at this point.
even though we're paying now just as much for all the streaming services,
if not more. But it feels like we have more control over what we want to watch. It's like it's so
decentralized,
baby.
Yeah, I'm like, I will pay for a service just because of one show. I don't watch anything else that the stupid channel has. But just like, Apple TV, I'm on Apple TV because there's that Silo series, and I love science fiction, so I'm watching that. As soon as it's done,
watch Severance. It's the only thing on Apple TV I've ever paid for. Severance, good. Yeah.
I'm just
dystopian reality kind of shit. It's out there, but it's.
Oh yeah, okay, I like it. I like it already. Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I totally agree with you. I think like this is because people just they want to feel, I guess. People just want to feel like they have better choices. Why am I going to go and watch this when I can choose something that I really, really love, and I feel like I'm a part? Ooh, culture again. I feel like I'm a part of something. So I'll pay this $10 a month or whatever it is to be a part of that community and culture of viewers, so that when you're talking about a show, I know what you're talking about because I watched that same show. Now it's no one cares about Dallas, back in the 80s. Like no one cares about Law and Order. Well, I mean there is, but you know what I mean. Like it's just people feel that I want to be a part of that, and I don't need to spend $100. I'll spend $10.
But on like 15 different platforms.
15 different platforms, right?
Yeah. Speaking about platforms and speaking about the culture, so I just want to share something, and I don't intend to bring this back to Hive and Leo Finance. I'm just gonna say something that. So we've been having a lot of meetings with other crypto companies right now, and one of the slides it's all about building Leo Finance as the crypto as the Web3 hub for Web3. And the main sales point of that is that we want to become the island where all the boats, all the crypto company boats come to gather information, resources, users, and then go back to their OpenSea shenanigans. And the point of all of this is that the moment that a decentralized platform manages to bring enough people so that more people follow and that more people bring more traffic and nobody can take them down, and that platform doesn't answer to any government or any system or any entity in reality, that's where, as Taskmaster says, all of the mainstream media platforms and all of the powers that are right now will go down. The moment that you can upload an AI generated movie on 3Speak and nobody can take that down, that's when Hollywood is gonna go to the ground, like no stops. Because if you cannot stop a hub, even if you try to bribe or menace or strong arm the platform, that's like, because right now anyone who goes viral on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, whatever, if that doesn't fit the narrative, they get taken down. But the moment they can't, like the moment my chat GPT article can trend without anyone taking it down, that's when the cultural shift is going to happen in just a span of a couple of years. That's
Well,
just,
what I think on top of that, and you bring up a very interesting point because I've been watching this, and I've been trying to formulate my view on this. And so one of the things that I learned about Tucker Carlson, I never watched the guy, but he was so popular that evidently some people are surmising that the Fox News culture, as most of these media companies, they say nobody is bigger than the brand. And so the actors, if you will, the talent is interchangeable. It's always the brand. And I found this to be very interesting because I watched a video and somebody was talking about Hollywood, and he said the movie star is dead. And he was naming off who the movie stars today, who you can count on blockbuster money to come in. And they're all 60 and older. You know, Tom Cruise and Harrison Ford and Liam Neeson and Stallone and all these people. And the Hollywood has not cultivated that next generation of movie star. And so going back to what we talked about initially with reputation, with culture, with this decentralized idea of media, Eric, what you're bringing up is if I can find my star on ThreeSpeak, or if I find my AI star, you create an AI series that, you know, just has characters like kind of South Park, but you create it through AI and you put it on ThreeSpeak. And I fall in love with that. That's what I'm going to gravitate to. Or if you create a show and you create I mean, they have these AI generated pop singers who are like becoming, you know, stars and getting huge followings on Spotify and YouTube. And it's just AI stuff. And so I think that's what people are going to gravitate to is the individual, whatever it is, whether it's human or synthetic, that they connect with.
the top. I'm just gonna pull a number out of my ass because I don't remember the actual number, but I think that the out of the top 10 streamers on Twitch, I think 2 or 3 of them are this. I don't even know the name, but it's this character, like this anime character, animated by someone streaming. So it's not even a real person. It's just someone behind animating that, and people watch that, and people give money to Twitch for that. So
VTuber kind of thing.
that's that. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
The word just came to me. I didn't mean to interrupt you. But somebody that, you know, like me, but maybe has a horse head or some animated avatar or whatever the fuck in front of them. Just like we're having a conversation right now, you would be talking to maybe like an NFT, you know, maybe like a Bored Ape or something like that. So yeah, it just came to me. Sorry.
I'll do conspiracy theory here for a bit. Going back to what you guys were talking about. Do you think, like, because I noticed this with the cable companies, they didn't really fight it. What they did is they created their own streaming service, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that a lot of these companies see what's happening? Kind of what you were saying, Eric, with the, like, it was, you know, developed in 2018. They're like, hold on, just wait until we do this mask thing, this COVID-19 thing, and then then you should launch that stuff. Do you think that companies can see the writing on the wall and everything is being like slowed down so they can prepare, so they don't miss a beat? Because the cable companies, I don't know about everywhere else, but here in Canada, they didn't lose any money because they just started doing internet service. They just started doing streaming service. They didn't miss a beat. So
They
conspiracy
started
theory,
making more money.
They started making more money.
John,
Yeah.
it's called Gary Gensler.
Okay.
Gary
Oh,
Gensler
God.
wants to put crypto in the
Oh,
hands of the
God.
banks.
That's
I'll give you
right.
another.
Yes, that's
I'll
where I was
give-
gonna go. Yeah.
I'll
yeah.
give you another example. AI. Google is so far out of the realm of AI right now. They are trailing. They are spending big money lobbying to get regulation to slow this stuff down so they can hopefully catch up to the open AIs and which is Microsoft and some of these others, which ironically, from what I'm reading, and I'm no AI expert, but from what I'm reading, these companies like Microsoft, OpenAI, as fast as they're going, they're stuck in neutral compared to the truly open platforms and open source, because those people can run databases and can attack it from so many different angles, a lot more than one company can, like OpenAI. So yeah, regulation is never meant to protect the public. It's meant to protect the incumbents.
Good point. So it's not a conspiracy theory; it's conspiracy fact.
No, wait. So Taskmaster is right at a society level and a macroeconomic level. At a conspiracy level, Taskmaster is completely wrong. Because,
Shit. Hold on.
because
Hold
He's got his hat on.
Go ahead.
There we go. This is going to be very quick, but 95% of the media companies of the world are owned by a handful of people, and that same people own the pharma industry, and that same people own all the food and all the products that we use on a daily basis that are used to get us sick so that we can consume pharma, and
Right.
they control the narrative so that we follow everything that they say. So it's not that CBS knew that streaming services are coming and that they were prepared. It's not that this small company knew. It's just that the 100 people on top prepared all of this, and they are orchestrating all of this, and they just tell the CEOs of their 100 companies, "Hey, you're gonna drop this on 2022." I'm not gonna tell you why. I'm just saying that. And they tell to all of their company CEOs, "This is your schedule. Either stick to it, or I will put someone in your place. Do not care. I don't care about the sales. I don't care about your solutions. You are gonna drop this on 2022 or 2023." And that's my take, the conspiracy take. But I strongly believe in that.
I
I'm so
like the
happy.
Cryptoholic show,
Yeah.
Task. I don't know about you.
I'm
I
so
like
happy about this.
I like the Holic show, man.
I have more conspiracy stuff to talk about, but I prepared this. I literally prepared a conspiracy topic just in case Eric didn't go there. But
you know I go there. It draws to me. And if I had any beers today, we would already be talking about racist things. So
oh no,
We'd be talking what? Racist things?
oh
Yeah.
no.
A racist
maybe-
Mexican.
exactly.
Maybe not racist, but maybe speciesist.
Hey, I got a question. This has helped me culturally, Eric.
Yeah.
What does it mean when you say and you call somebody a gringo?
It all, like, if you
We're
ask me
sorry,
this-
Spotify.
So if you asked me this 20 years ago, I would say it's a very offensive term, in the sense that you are telling them like it's a pejorative word. But if you ask me this right now, we are like Mexico. It's such an like it has the US engraved so much right now. Like we have don't laugh at me, but we have like Walmarts and Zara's and all of these stores in the US. We have McDonald's. We're even fatter than you now, and like our society is so Americanized in a way that we are no longer your backyard. We are your kitchen. So it's not it's not said in as an offensive or as an offensive term. It's more as a descriptive term. So if you're a gringo today, you're just like, oh yeah, you're just a friend that doesn't speak
now
English.
is that just an American, or is it to refer to a race like white Americans, or just Americans?
It's just like English speaking people. Like
English
you,
speaking.
like you could be talking like this Harry Potter, and then you would be called a gringo.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out if John's a gringo or not. Is
That was
John
a
a
good
gringo?
accent. That was an English
Is
accent.
John
I
a
like it.
gringo? That's the real question here.
Is John
He
a
is.
gringo? He is. Okay.
Yeah, he.
Well,
Glad we've
Canadian-
established that.
Yeah, Canadian isn't really English.
Before we get kicked off of Spotify or
Oh,
Apple
yes.
podcasts or
Nifty has a conspiracy.
Radio or any of that, before we get kicked off, I need to shift the subject a little bit. We can still talk about race, but I read something earlier that caught my attention, and I figured it would be a perfect topic to bring up here. So a military whistleblower by the name of Grush, I guess is his last name, David Grush, claims that the U.S. government is covering up UFOs. So, before I go into this, are we alone in the universe? We got to bring up aliens. Are there aliens?
Yeah, we are definitely not alone. I don't think we have reptilian people living amongst us, but
Aside from Gensler and Zuckerberg, but
Right.
Yeah.
yeah,
aside
yeah.
from those guys, yeah,
Hey, let's cut them
They
open and
might
see
be-
what comes out.
yeah, the metaverse would probably just bleed out of Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
I was thinking something more like from Alien.
Oh yeah,
Best
Yeah,
movie
man.
ever in the history of movies is Aliens, by the way. Just saying.
so good,
Yeah,
so good.
with an S.
But yeah, basically, this guy claims that there is a task force that recovers crashed non-human exotic vehicles.
Wow.
Non-human exotic vehicles.
Exotic vehicles. So the aliens it's their Sunday cruisers, and they're just crashing them into Earth.
The
apparently.
Maseratis.
The Maserati. Yeah.
They're pulling out the
The,
whips
the Ferrari.
they're sipping on some alien booze, and maybe they crash into Earth.
Cruising the galaxy and run into a planet.
But it begs the question. Okay, so there exists this task force that recovers non-human exotic vehicles, like alien Maseratis, right? But the thing is, in order to recover a non-human exotic vehicle that crashed, you would thus encounter the non-human being that controls said vehicle, or did before crash, right?
You would
Okay.
think.
So
Go ahead.
go ahead. I was just like, this got me thinking about aliens and shit.
Well-
There's this. Go ahead.
Here's the question, though. If you fast forward, if we don't blow ourselves up or kill ourselves or something like that, with the pace of our technological advancement, if you fast forward humanity 10,000 years, 20,000 years, 30,000 years, are we still biological beings at that point? Or do we advance to the point, because we have already seen the last 200 years where we've taken stuff that used to be physical and made it invisible. We used to have everything wired, now it's wireless. So I don't know, but if you get a species that is tens of thousands, if not millions of years ahead of us, even if they were the same type of human biological species, are they still in a biological realm, or did they somehow supersede it? So that's one answer to the Fermi paradox, is maybe they are zipping by us. They're just not in biological form, so we don't see them. I don't know.
That's deep.
Well-
I'm just looking at Django's face right now.
That's deep, man. That's deep. That's deep.
Okay, so one of the best movies of all time, despite all the physics inaccuracies, is Interstellar.
Interstellar.
And yeah,
100% agree. Fantastic.
exactly. It's probably like one day Matthew McConaughey said, "I don't want to do chick flicks. I'm gonna do the best shit ever," and he did this cop movie, like the Dollars Buyers Club. He did Interstellar, blah blah blah. But okay, yeah, Interstellar, the best movie, one of the best movies ever. And they actually go into this, that our non-corporeal future beings save us from extinction, but they are so far ahead from us that they live in 5 dimensions, I think, and they don't have a body. So this is actually I'm not gonna use a movie as an argument, but I'm gonna. So yeah, this is probably.
I'm not gonna, but I'm gonna.
I'm not gonna, but I'm gonna.
But yeah, I mean, it's totally plausible that it could be the future, that we are non-corporeal beings, and aliens are just among us, but they're we don't see them.
Are they just future versions of ourselves that we're encountering from other dimensions?
One of the metaphysical theories most accepted is that we are all the same being living different lives, because once we achieve nirvana, once we live through all the lives, we will know enough to achieve nirvana. So we're like us four, we are just a different version of the same person. So if you want to get philosophical and spiritual and all that shit, yes, that's an accepted theory.
Along the same lines, I believe there's also a line of thought, like every decision you make, you actually take both paths, and you just keep splitting
It's
yourself.
like a split.
Yeah. So you have one life where you said, okay, I'm going to ask her out. And in one life, you got scared and you didn't approach her. In the other life, you said, yeah, you asked her out, and then you live that life based on the results. And you're actually going down both paths.
Damn.
Yeah.
Non-linear timelines. Multi-dimensional timelines. So you did both. And they're happening at the same time, in the same linear timeline, but different dimensions that we can't comprehend.
I was under the impression that this was a drinking show, not a smoking show, but
something else show.
Yeah.
I'm with it either way. I'm covering all bases.
I can't keep up, man. I mean, that was
Speaking about drinking,
I didn't mean to go that deep.
no. It's good. It's fascinating to me. I like it.
We probably lost half of our audience.
Dude.
They
They were waiting for the word. They were here for the word, and as soon as we said the word, they were gone, man. Yeah.
But I figured if we're gonna shed some weight, let's at least do it in the right way. Let's go to conspiracies. Let's go all the way.
Well, and can we go I don't know if it's conspiracy, but you just start to let your mind wander, and this idea of data. And if it all is basically data, I mean, we know DNA is data. I mean, everything's data. And we look around us. I mean, we post shit on chain, and that's just, kind of in the digital world, the never land. And at some point, they're going to be drilling in our heads and capturing every thought we have, which isn't much different than what people do on Instagram anyway. They put every thought they have on Instagram or on Twitter. So, there's something out there capturing all this. And, going back to what Eric was saying about the metaphysical, is there something bigger that just is recording all of this in the ether that, humanity's talked about for thousands of years? We just called it different names and tried to rationalize it through spirituality or religion or God or whatever. And
The Anunnaki.
Yeah, the Anunnaki. I mean, are we just is the universe really just a big old cloud collecting data, and we're all just running around? We're just the sensors collecting all the data and feeding it to it.
I mean, we have spoken about that, Nifty and I, in previous shows that didn't get taken down from Spotify, so maybe we didn't go that deep. But
Impressive.
We're still on there, as far as I know.
we are 100% a simulation. I am completely sure we are in a simulation, and we are only data for something bigger.
Have you ever encountered a person and just thought to yourself, like, this person's an ad? Have you ever encountered a being like an NPC in your, like a non-player character in your reality or task?
All the time.
That you're just like, how are you even real? Are you just like an ad?
Yeah, Gary Gensler. Gary Gensler is the NPC.
Like that smooth-brained fucking worm that somehow. I'm sorry.
You feel about Gary like I do about Meta. I like it.
Yeah. It's just like
I swear I encounter at least one a day that I'm just when I leave, if I ever leave the house. Sometimes I go outside and I encounter these NPCs in my reality, and I'm like, are you even real? Like, you get what I'm saying? Am I crazy here?
No.
Or maybe they are not an ad. They are an NPC who runs out of phrases and then just keeps repeating in a loop, just like 100 words.
They're broken. Yeah.
They're not a broken reality loop. They do.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
what do you think, guys?
That's what we had on Threads for all those emojis. They're just broken NPCs. They can't thread properly. They're broken. They ran out of things to say. They honestly cannot put a coherent thought together. So they just pick a picture and post it. There's your NPCs in your game, Nifty. What? You have hundreds of them on Threads.
I legitimately think I've encountered physical beings that are advertisements at this point. So, we may already be in the Ready Player One thing.
What are they selling?
Well, that's debatable. Subscribe to the Only Leos to find out more.
Only Leos.
Speaking about drinking, and I do want to bring out this topic. Hey, John, I know that you have a wedding. Are you going to be able to push it forward a couple of days or something? And Taskmaster, I know you are you hate closed borders. Are you going to jump over the border for Hypefest?
I don't have a passport.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I do know that Nifty's like he already has a passport and all of that, so he's
going. I don't. I applied for a passport. I didn't do the fancy one. I did the one where you can walk across the border or drive across the border. But they're so backed up right now. It's probably going to take like 3 months to get it. So we're going to be cutting it close. But I have to come to Hypefest. And I mean, come on.
It's so frustrating that it's like the 1 week that like out of the entire year, and it's
but like
I'm pushing, and I know Kat's pushing Cal to have Leo Fest in Miami. He wants to have something and Cal's pushing for. I mean, not Cal. Scaredy Cat's pushing for Miami, which Miami would be a good place to have something like that.
That's not too far, but I think we should have like a Leo day, like either before or after Hypefest. Like 1 day of just like, only Leo shit. Not like, that kind, but not the kind you pay 69 Leo per month, but like,
Oh,
Yeah.
unless
like-
you want to get there, you have to buy the NFT membership and all that shit. But no, I think we should push to have like something like that. Maybe for those that can't make it to the full Hive Fest, like have like one day of just Leo Finance shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like not even official. Like just for
Just
people
just
that
yeah,
go.
not official.
Yeah, for people that go, like just maybe have a couple conversations and then some drinking and like some bonding, and so that I think that if we manage to bring that sense of belonging, like John says, into the real life, like I don't know, man, being part of Leo, it's going to be something like, how there's people who use a brand as a part of their personality and stuff like that. I don't agree with that, but I wouldn't mind people using Leo Finance as part of their personality, like just taking it like very close to the heart. I mean, it would be amazing.
I
But
think it would
wait,
be
Taz,
fun to have some beers.
yeah, Taz. So
I
is
think
there-
Dan and I'm sure Dan and Starkers will do something too.
yeah,
That'd be
probably.
dope. All right. I'm sure they're coming. I think they're involved in some kind of way. Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
think
I
so.
don't know the details. Yeah, I think it would be cool to have like call it like an after party kind of thing, or an after, vibe session, whatever you want to call it, conspiracy ring,
breakout sessions, masterminds.
breakout session. Yeah, we're gonna fucking figure out the metaverse.
I like it.
I am actually pretty sad that you are not gonna make it, guys, because I was looking forward to John, to see you again.
Mhm.
Task to meet you in person. So wait, going into
If I show up anywhere in person, then people will start to think I'm a person, and that'll ruin my reputation.
your
Yeah.
machine reputation.
Machine
You have to wear the
reputation.
Apple Vision Pro to see Task.
Yeah. Where is he? He's here. You just got to wear the.
You have to show up and wear it.
You got to drop $3,500 to see Task.
Yeah,
Plus the $69
live,
a month.
live in AR.
Yeah,
You're
plus
basically there.
plus give Nifty 69 HBD.
Yeah, 69 HBD for the pass. Yeah. Oh man,
Gong show.
yeah, it would be incredible if you popped in, man. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna make my way down there. It's gonna be a journey, but I'm ready. I'm
Yeah.
ready.
It sucks because I can literally drive there. Like, it's
You drive there,
and
it'd take you like 6 months.
No, what are you
That's a
talking about?
long
Dude,
drive, man. I think I
Vegas
said
from-
this.
Vegas from me right now
Vegas.
is like a 16-hour drive.
Yeah, but add like
Yeah,
a
then you
whole
gotta get
extra day onto that.
No, man. Vegas to
No.
San Diego? No.
I should
They're
should
not
be
in
like
San
24
Diego.
days, 24 hours, right?
Give about 24 hours.
It's in Mexico.
dude,
It's a Rosarito.
but that's
24
not that far
hours?
from Tijuana, right?
Nah, it's like
An
30
hour?
minutes from
30
Tijuana.
minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just need to get to San Diego. And that's just, for me, it's I-5 all the way from where I live. Literally, the road turns into I-5, and it's like,
I'm not doing all that, but I am backpacking across the border.
hell
And,
yeah.
somebody
Hell
gonna
yeah.
have to pick me up. So
Yeah.
somebody gonna have to pick me up. So be ready. I'm backpacking. I'm not driving. I'm backpacking across the border.
Dude, it's so weird to be part of the country that's hosting that. I'm gonna go to Tijuana. My girlfriend, she's got a friend there, and she was like, "Oh yeah, you can have the car and all that." So it's gonna be pretty easy to pick you up, Nifty, and then we can crash
So
because
what
I'm
he's saying
gonna
is
be
he's
drunk.
gonna pick me up at the border when I backpack across.
Yeah.
I see.
But
This is
yeah.
all coming together. I'm glad we have this talk.
the problem is in the last couple of years the Mexicans built a wall to keep the Americans out.
Mm.
No, it's to keep the the Americans in. So once they cross, they cannot go back.
Sounds like I'm moving to Mexico. Fuck.
Let's go.
Yeah, hey, the
I'll
way
pack
things
light.
are, the way things are going in this country, if I made it to Mexico, you said you can't leave, I'll be like, okay, fuck it, I don't care.
Didn't Eddie Spino need a couple pool guys?
I already called dibs on one of his pool chairs.
So-
How are you with your concrete work? I was going to be the pool cleaner. He said it needs a little concrete work. You know concrete work. We might have to fix the fucking thing for him, but you know.
I know Chat GPT is all
Dude,
I
I'm
can
Mr.
say.
Concrete right now, Task. Like, don't worry. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah,
Just driving
but
cement
you're-
trucks around all day.
But you're Canadian. We don't know if those Mexicans like you Canadians.
Now we used to until Trudeau.
Still Trudeau, yeah, don't worry.
He
I'm
said,
right
you
there
know,
with you,
He kind of hedged on that, didn't he? Yeah, Eddie invited some Americans to live by his pool. I don't know if he had an open invitation, but hey, if
We'll
six or
crash
eight
the
of us
party.
show up and move in, talk.
It's like we're not even there. We'll build our little huts and shit, like we're not even there.
Yeah.
The only thing I am going to say is that if you are working online 24/7 and you don't need to go to the office and you don't need you don't need to be physical for your job, and you are living in a first world country, you are doing things wrong. Whatever you're spending on the US or in Germany or in whatever, you can spend 20% of that in Mexico or in any other third world country, and then you can buy more Leo.
This is true.
I have a theory, Eric, and I call it the globalization of real estate. And I believe what you're saying is true, and that at a certain point in time, we are going to see real estate act like manufacturing, where because of digital nomads, let's call them, governments are going to have to get aggressive to attract people and will be able to get aggressive to attract people. And countries like Mexico or countries like El Salvador or countries like Panama,
Indonesia, Bali is a place.
yeah, they will be able to say, listen, if we put some money in the infrastructure and build out the airport and get some flights in and build some hospitals, we can have 250,000 Americans move in here earning 65, 70 grand a year because the cost of living will be so much cheaper. And so I think at a certain point in time, you're absolutely correct. And crypto kind of is like the precursor to this. Countries that are oppressive are going to find that unless they just lock their population down, they're going to lose people to countries that say, you know what, we're just going to get aggressive and we're just going to, stop these civil wars. We're going to clean up a few things and, our cost of living in our industry. And, Mexico has the demographics where you're going to be carrying North America in the next 30 years.
And here's one thing. This is data from a few years ago. I don't know if it's updated or not, but a few years ago, Mexico relied on the GPD, gross domestic GDP, was basically made of 5 things, and the top 3 were oil, tourism, and I don't know the word in English, but like when people go live in the US and they send money to people in Mexico,
remittance.
Yeah, remittances. So imagine how big can that get, that US people, Americans, but I call them US people because we hate that term in Spanish. But once Americans come to Mexico, the amount of dollars that will leave the US and will activate the Mexican economy will be so big that it might go to one of these top 5 GDP generators. Because think about it, you pay taxes to your government, but you spend the 70% or whatever it's left in Mexico, not in the US. So if 250,000 people come to Mexico earning big bucks, let's just say $100,000 a year, and you spend 70% of that in Mexico, that's a shitload of money for the Mexican economy, you know?
I got one better for you. The United States and China are not real happy with each other. And a lot of corporations are starting to look at supply chains and starting to look at doing things differently. Where do you think a fair portion of that manufacturing will go once it leaves China? If it's American companies, I think they're going to start building in Mexico because the cost of labor is probably even less than it is in China now because China's had massive wage inflation over the last 20 years. Especially when you couple it with the much lower transportation costs because Mexico is just, I mean, shit, they can just float stuff right up the Pacific into California. And, it's a very short trip. And hell, they don't even need the Navy to protect any of that stuff. They can, probably just shoot something down from San Diego. And you got the Gulf of Mexico. You just send stuff right in the Gulf of Mexico into Texas or Florida. So I think you're going to end up with a lot of manufacturing over the next 10 to 15 years relocating to Mexico because you got the ideal demographics. The design and stuff is done in America, but you put the plants in Mexico. I mean, Tesla's building what's probably going to be of their gigafactories, the largest producer of the Ford they have in place now. The one they're putting in Mexico will produce more vehicles than any of them. And that'll be, in the next couple months, they'll break ground.
So let me get this straight. So now that you have inflated your currency, you want to inflate ours?
What do you mean inflate your currency?
Yeah.
I'm just saying that. I mean, it's definitely gonna help the Mexican economy, but at the same time, the prices are gonna go really up if the U.S. Gets their hands in Mexican territory in the way of creating jobs and all of that. But at the same time, I think, as you say, the global economy, it's going to be a parallel economy in the sense that it won't matter if you live on the side of the U.S. or on the side of Mexico if you live near the border. It's just going to be the same prices for everyone.
Yeah, and the advantage for Mexico is your consumption skyrockets because there's a lot more money coming into the country. And so, yes, you have inflation, but that's offset where, if the price of goods double and your expenses double, but your income's triple or quadruple, you're ahead. And that's what happened in China to a degree. The problem with China is China did very well on the coast there. They got like 400 million people who live first world existence. China also is very interested. They got 400 million in the second world existence and 400 million live in the third world existence who never left the agricultural rural areas. So they really have, just such big poverty problems in terms of numbers. Mexico obviously has a much smaller population. And, you start getting the money flowing in, not only for manufacturing, but like you said, tourism, remittance, you get expats, you get all that stuff moving in. That's going to be a major boom for the Mexican economy, especially since you have younger people who are going to get married, who are going to have kids, who are going to drive the consumption of your local economy, which China does not have any of that. China has a bunch of older people that they're looking to have to take care of. So the demographics are all on the Mexican side. Unlike Canada, which they're like China, they got older demographics. And the U.S., quite frankly, could go either way. It'll be interesting to see, our American-born population is dwindling, but we do have immigration to help offset that, if that continues to happen. But it may be where we have emigration to countries like Mexico, and that could affect the United States.
Yeah,
We could also
we are gonna send all the workers and gonna import all the thinkers. We're
well.
This is
There,
way too educated of a topic for me.
there,
I'll
there,
stand
there,
back.
That's
there,
same with
there,
me, man. I'm just sitting here sipping
well,
my water.
Eric,
Way too educated.
there is a line of thinking out there that the United States is so politicized and so separated that the United States may end up breaking apart into 2 or 3 different regions in the
yeah,
next 15 years or so. And if that happens, then you're looking at probably from Texas, maybe Arizona, all the way across the South being one region, and California and Oregon and Washington being another, and maybe the northern section in the Midwest and the Northeast being another. And
yeah,
if that happens, then you're probably dealing with a couple entities that are similar to Mexico. I mean, I think the California region would be, because California is like the 5th largest economy in the world just on its own or something.
yeah. But
I mean, it's
please,
huge.
please do not compare us with California.
No.
We are more like Texas or Florida, man.
Oh yeah. No. No. California is
Damn.
more like I don't even know.
Yeah,
I'd swap. Who wants to secede up by you, John? I'd swap Alberta for California. That'd be a trade. I'd make.
I'm in Alberta.
Yeah,
I'll join America. Let's go.
Yeah,
we'll give Trudeau California, and we'll take on
He'd
Alberta.
Love it.
Then we lose all our influencers, though.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, such a
What are we gonna do
pain.
without our influencers?
We're 3-speak. We're gonna make our own influencers. We don't need none of them.
But yes,
Speak of-
seriously, the way that your voting pattern map looks, dude, you have like 3, well, at least 2 different countries, and they are very defined. Like they are very like this could be one country and this could be the other one. So
And then you look at it at state level, Eric, and you start to see the same things. You see large areas in one color, and then you get the urban areas in another color. And so, yes, there has become a very distinct pattern. Now, we don't know over the next few years. I don't know how it is where you are, Nifty, but immigration, I mean, where I am in Florida, it's like we're having an influx of people all over the place, especially people leaving New York and people leaving Massachusetts and New Jersey, and they're all moving here because of the high taxes, because of the crime, because of the tough business environment, all of that stuff. And Texas is capturing a lot of business from California. And I just saw California lost like 700,000 people last year.
They're moving here. We're neighbors, man.
Where are you?
I'm not in Florida. I'm in Georgia.
Okay. Well,
same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you got something similar. I mean, they're all moving to the south, and I mean, this was expected because of the baby boomers retiring, and they don't want to shovel snow. And I don't, disagree with them, but it really, I mean, Eric, from being outside the country, looking at the voting patterns, it's rather interesting that you see that distinction in those lines and say, okay, this could be setting up to break apart just by looking at the voting patterns.
Yeah, and it's just I mean, I'm allowed to say this because I'm brown, but but
you heard it, Spotify. It's allowed.
But if you divided the country in 2, I think that the blue states would very fast turn into red states. All the issues that the blue states have are so clear. But then again, we go back to the conspiracy theories. It seems like someone's pulling the strings and telling people or telling companies or telling government entities to not act upon some things that are happening. So it's just so hard, man. And it's just
Gensler.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I do agree with you that, and I don't think it's conspiracy theory. I think it's just um, those who've attained power in particular areas, particular regions, particular industries, and they're basically they're able to exert a lot of influence, especially through foundations and things of that nature. And there's no doubt that the media, the mainstream media, is a propaganda arm. I don't think anybody reasonable can argue that this is just propaganda. It's agenda driven, and you cannot take any of this as a basis. In fact, it's theater meant to appeal to you if you're on the right. So you then say Fox News is the best and CNN is lying. Or if you're on the left, you say MSNBC is right and those Fox people are lying. But either way, you're caught up in the theater and you don't even realize it's all a lie. It's an agenda.
Yeah, it's all
And
part of the same kind.
Yeah, it's like John McCain and Ted Kennedy, one a Republican, one a Democrat. They were known on the Senate floor to get into shouting matches over topics, and people would thought they would literally come to fisticuffs. I mean, McCain would turn redder than Nifty's shirt. That's how red he would get, and get with Kennedy. And you know what they did afterwards? They'd be drinking together and hanging out. So it was theater. It was like, they're not standing up for their point of view. It's just theater. That's why Trump was hated so much, not because he was Trump, but because he was an outsider. He came to Washington. He's an outsider. If he was part of the establishment, it'd be fine, but he's not. And that's why he had to go. And that's why you will not see Trump back there, I don't think. They will do everything to trip him up because he's an outsider. What other douchebag they put in, it won't matter because he'll still be part of their, Republican, Democrat, he'll still be part of their circle.
What about you, John? How's Canada? I mean, this got way out of hand. But
He said, "What about Canada?"
Dude, you guys, everything you see is true that you see about Canada. It's just the same down there. Like, we just had an election in the province I'm living in 2 weeks ago or last Monday, and you saw it was crystal clear. The two major cities in the province were all socialist, liberal wins, and then the rest of the province was conservative. Like, literally crystal clear. So, and my kid is waving to me. Hello, yes. Hello, hi, yes. And the dog is, no, it's just the same thing up here. I mean, it's a country divided, man. Yeah, you can see it. Like, the province I'm in has tried to separate from Canada multiple times. So, yeah.
Alberta is above in the map, above Vancouver, right?
No, so we're east of
east
of British Columbia, but we're like directly north of like Idaho and Montana.
Oh, okay.
Like directly north. So we're in the plains, right? It's plain states, and to the west is the Rockies. It's a beautiful place, but it's just it's completely divided. And we have a conservative government now that's got a majority here in this province because they just don't like Ottawa at all, which is the capital of Canada. They hate it. So it's divided here too.
It's like where Nifty is. You go to Fulton County and DeKalb and right around Atlanta, it's all blue.
Liberal.
Then you go to the rest of the state and it's all red. But the rest of the state has like 10 people in it, and Atlanta has 1.5 million or 2 million people in it.
Yeah. It's all planned, like Eric said. It is all strings being pulled. So maybe the best thing to do is get those Apple Vision Pros and just ride it out.
Get your Apple Vision Pro, no matter how much it costs.
Doesn't matter.
You're gonna fucking need it.
You're gonna need it.
But see, here's the question then that this all begs. I don't have the fatalist attitude about this. First off, I don't think the WEF will succeed. I know what their agenda is. Everybody knows what their agenda is. The problem is they're a bunch of academics. So I don't think they really comprehend what it takes to succeed. But you go a step further and you say, okay, we're doing this stuff with blockchain. We're doing this stuff with cryptocurrency. You mentioned what you did, Nifty, with the Apple headset. And yes, with Apple, okay, and we know with Zuckerberg, that's a non-starter. But what if you get this stuff tied to blockchain? What if we start to get data on blockchain and people start creating natural language processing and machine learning engines based upon what's on blockchain? And do you believe, I mean, as much as we talked about Gensler, do you believe somebody like Gensler can succeed? I don't think he can, because we're dealing with something that's global. It is decentralized in the sense that even if you think Ethereum and Tron and all these others are centralized, there's just so many of them. They're all over the place that you can't, it becomes a game of whack-a-mole. I mean, do you think that this is a way out of all of that? Or do you think I'm just delusional and, no, this is just foolhardy?
I think you put too much faith in good people doing good things. Now, that's not a slight on you. I think that's anyone that's got that positive attitude towards stuff. I see how people are, and I'm sure all of us, have seen it. And when it comes down to it, not everyone, I don't want to generalize here, but I am kind of, they will stab you to make sure that they're fed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I can trust. I have a lot of people that I trust, probably with my life, until they need to pay for medicine for their kid. Like even myself, I like to think of myself as someone with morals, with good foundations, with a good moral compass. And even I consider myself, if I was under control of $1 billion protocol, I have no idea how would I react. So all of these blockchains and all of these companies are people who are not part of the game. Like you might just trust like the Zuckerberg and people like that who are part of the system, that they will not rug you, because like there are a lot of chains around them. But in crypto, a founder can rug at any point. A founder can just leave. They can just dump on you. And these people are not people that come from money. They are people self-made from buying brownie coin in 2014. So, and this is a topic that we spoke about, Taskmaster, a few months ago. We are looking at billionaires or millionaires who are 22 years old, who never touched a corporate setup, who don't know about marketing, business, economics. They just got lucky. So it's going to be strange. Like in 10 years, we might see real projects with real people with background here. Like right now, if you tell me, oh yeah, he's got 3 years of experience in crypto, I mean, that's bullshit. That means nothing. Like this is so new. I don't know. It's just,
yeah, but by extension of what you're saying, I would think then, and I agree with you. And there are a lot of people in it green in the sense they have no idea what to do with this stuff, no business skills, no marketing skills, no idea how to handle any of this stuff. But then you have a lot of people who do, and that's one of the reasons why I'm so optimistic about Leo. Is we're starting to show what is possible when you bring people together, even with just the basic business building skill sets, to push things forward. And if the arena or the environment is such where people can come in, yes, they can come in and scam, but they can also come in because there's nothing stopping them, come in and start to create and build. And like you said, if they know about AI or they got people in their circle who know about AI, and start putting this to use where they're just going to rocket ahead and take over a lot of shit that most people aren't expecting.
Yeah, and I think that's the key. And for example, Nifty built GM friends without being a coder, and I think that a lot of projects are
I'm not a
going to.
developer.
Yeah, but
you know,
yeah, but you know, a lot of crypto companies might go that way, and maybe you just need one developer, and then you have all of these AI tools helping you with all of the fronts that you need to fight, and you could be running a one-man show with a developer by your side, and you could make millions.
yep.
Or what if you take that same concept, Eric, and you tokenize it, and you have a bunch of people who have stake in whatever way, shape, or form they acquired it, and now you have somebody like me who has no coding skills whatsoever, but I can ride the coattails of that organization, just like I'm riding the coattails of Leo, because I don't have any dev skills. But Leo still keeps developing stuff, and I have a vested interest, and I do my part where I can, but it certainly isn't anybody letting me touch the code, and rightly so.
Don't tell Gensler.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that's
Don't
just,
tell him.
that's just it. It's like, at what point does he start coming for some of this stuff? And, that's where everybody wants everything to explode overnight. And it's like, nah, we're better off being off the radar for another few years and see how things change. But, at the end of the day, he can turn around and go after whatever he wants. Do you think it affects Eric in Mexico? No. Do you think it
No,
affects John in Canada?
maybe
No.
in 20 years, maybe it will.
He'll have
Wait,
the iPhone 7.
wasn't Eric just inviting all of us down and calling us crazy for being in a developed world and we should all move to Mexico? Wait, if I go to Mexico, will I be 20 years younger, or just I go back in time 20 years, but I'm still the same age?
Well, think about it like this. You can watch The Lord of the Rings at a movie theater.
Holy shit.
So that would be amazing,
That's impressive.
My 2003 Chrysler is new.
Exactly.
Oh, man. Incredible.
I don't know. It's just I understand what you're saying, John, and yes, people do operate in their own self-interest. There is that is true. But what Eric was saying is, yeah, somebody will shank you if the choice is shanking you and getting medicine for their kid, or their kid going without medicine. But I'm not the one stopping them from getting medicine. That's the thing. So when you look at what these entities are doing to people, and what we talked about with the decentralization of media, the ability to get the message out there, the ability for people to come into Minecraft here and listen, that as we're bouncing around the Minecraft world and talking all this wacky stuff, because it is only Minecraft, people can listen to that. We're no longer stopped.
Yeah, and you know what?
Sorry,
I kind
the
of
living room isn't available right now.
All right, Google, calm down. Sorry,
happened there?
my Google Assistant wanted to join the conversation there.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think, dude, we have to do this more frequently. Like we shouldn't wait 5 months every time.
Hey, man. Every month at least, it should be a.
Yeah. Once a month would be amazing. And
The
you're
Crypto
already-
Shit Show, once a month at a random time yet to be announced.
I think we're talking about raising the level of Web3 as a resource. We might want to come up with a little bit more of a professional name, at least.
Nah, come on.
Come on, where's your sense of adventure?
I
Ted?
mean, we're not saying that you have to get dressed up and put on a collared shirt or even have
Or
sleeves
pants.
like Nifty.
Or pants.
Well,
Pants
we
are
don't know
optional,
about the
right?
pants. We didn't know about the pants till Eric told us, and we still don't know about Nifty. I'll have to check the poll and see what the community
Yep.
thought. But
So it has to be fancier words. So how about the Crypto Excrement Podcast?
It's a Scrabble word right there.
Crypto Excrement Podcast.
CEP for short.
Yes, I love it.
Maybe
Oh,
we
man.
should maybe we should start branding Leo or Leo Finance in the name. We all both of us talk crypto, but maybe this get together. Maybe we should brand Leo some way, shape, or form.
The Leo Shit Show. Yeah.
Leo Holics,
Leo
Leo
There
Maniacs.
we go.
Leo Holics.
Lion talk. I don't know. That's corny.
Ooh, there you go.
that's
Corny
really
might
corny. Yeah,
corny might
no.
work.
No.
How
Well, we'll work on it.
How about bringing something in like some type of conspiracy name with Leo or something like that in it? You know.
If you have a
Area
suggestion for
420.
the name of the show, Area 420, leave it in the Threadcast.
Yes,
If you
leave
have
it
a
in the
suggestion
thread
for the name.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
You will get
Well,
69% votes.
Wow.
Big
Guys,
votes.
a pleasure, man. It was great. Thank you
Yeah,
to everyone that came in.
absolutely.
We had a lot of people on Vim and in the Threadcast. 36 people tuned in on Vim, so that's pretty sweet.
Damn.
Wow.
Pretty
Nice.
Worldwide. Hell yeah.
good.
It's been
Worldwide,
awesome,
man.
guys. Thanks for having us. And
No,
did
thank
you
you
have
for having
us, or
us.
did we have you? I don't know.
I don't know. That's what it's so confused. Yeah. All right.
we didn't even figure out who's
yeah.
the guest and who's the host.
Yeah.
Thanks for the crossover,
We're all
guys.
just guests on the grand show of the
Grand show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of the simulation.
Well,
Wait. We did conclude, according to what Eric said, there were actually two shows, one where Cryptoholics was the host and the other was where Crypto Maniacs was the host. But when we made the decision, we actually split. So theoretically, we weren't even together tonight.
Exactly.
Wow.
That is a hardcore note to end on. I love that. You don't know what's real. What is real?
What's real? We're all
Thanks for tuning in, guys. It's been
batteries.
incredible.
Yeah.
Ciao.
We'll
Thank
catch you
you
next
guys.
time.
Bye.